JPJ, it will be led by Dr. Nambasa. Yes. She made quite a very powerful speech in Ginger. Everybody is calling me asking about it.
Oh, Uganda, we live a future in thy heart. United free for liberty, together we always stand.
Thank you very much. And by description of Honorable Mwanga, on that telephone that he received, you just come and lead us in prayer for us to accommodate people, no matter the religion. Second, yangu twali wa salino Islam twala ndaze kipekee.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa ba'd. Allahumma salli aduwana aqlabun min khilabika. Ay Allah ekitiibwa kusabanga newombese gy'oli manyaga ekitiibwa. Abayi baffe era n'eggwanga lino abasindikire empologoma z'okwozirira. Tukusaba okume pulezidenti waffe omutereko omukono gw'ekitiibwa atuuke mu bukulembeze bwe twagala obw'okumulibwa gaffe Uganda nga mulamu bulungi era omuwe omukono gw'ekisa abeere nga tutendera bulungi alulibwa gaffe Uganda. Nsaba buli muntu ayaze wano omuteeko omukono ogw'ekitiibwa ogw'ekisa n'abasigadde abayinoleka w'ekisinde kino bateekeko omukono ogw'ekitiibwa. Byonna mbisaba Allah nga mpitamunye ekitiibwa Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Allahumma Amin.
So you can see one young man.
Amanya ndi Sheikh Isa Abubakar Semojo, Ndioni Amin Luwelo District.
From Luwelo District. Have you ever dreamed of having handshake with the president? You have never dreamed. Do you have it as a dream? Alhamdulillah. Go and have the handshake. Go na manye migo na funa. Anaita batujja atolire sabatujja mwemunamanya mukikuwa ekifaananyi ekyo. Yeah, for us here at the National Unity Platform, we reaffirm all faith. Anglican, Christian, born again, Muslim, apart from the atheists, we are yet to agree because many of us have attachment to particular religion. So it is not right to discriminate or describe characteristically like they did people because of their faith. That is very wrong. And the NUP will deliver, of course, better than you had them speak. Ladies and gentlemen, you're most welcome. Of course, good afternoon. We have started a little bit late because of force majeure. It was not our own making. But Shamim here, Malende, knows that acts of God, you cannot stop them. So we are here and we will use the shortest time possible. We reach out to the media to please bear with us, but we'll compensate with the terrific speed that we shall carry out this. Mr. President, allow me to recognize that on this press conference we have eminent persons. You have councillors. Councillors LC3, you stand up. The other time they said in the way that we didn't know.
Our power, people power, NUP, everywhere, NUP.
You're most welcome. Those at the division level, you stand up for recognition. That's LC3. Those at the Lord Councillors, stand up for recognition. Lord Councillors. Of course, they are all represented by the Speaker of the Lord Council. So stand up for recognition. Zahra Lee, our able Speaker. We do have the Olse Council, Nanunji Alice from Masaka. It is also city, you also Lord Council. We take special recognition of leaders from Bugisu, my brother Honorable Masawa, you're most welcome. NEC members, you're most welcome. I take recognition of our speaker, Wachiso District, Nadia, one of our very great people in delivering at the local government. It's not easy managing Wachiso. You have done us proud. Thank you, Nadia. Mr. President, you have Honorable Muyanja from Mukono is with us today. Mr. President, the globe is not with us, but the ears are here. Mosh from Masaka, and office of you're most welcome. Of course, that caller gives you all the advantages of being introduced. Bishop, you're most welcome. Stewart from Entebbe, you're most welcome. Come and have a handshake with the president. I should exercise my powers because he comes from Entebbe. You see, Entebbe is a very interesting area. They have Lake Victoria, and I feel like I'm living in Entebbe because I come from Jinja. Stewart, Mr. President, that young man comes from Entebbe. He's a very good young man down there and doing a great job. I want to know Basima. The foot soldiers, you're most welcome. Members of the national owners and members of the national Inter platform, you are most welcome. Councillor, you did not stand up. I did expand the I didn't see. She's also our councillor from Machinga Savakam. My sister Nakato, you're most welcome. And all other members, Katongole Julius, Kantankaras Katongole Julius, you're most welcome. And all other members, you're all most welcome. Arish Kanu, my brother, and Obi, classmate, you're most welcome. And all of you that I have not introduced, I will do it another time. Mr. President, sir, ministers, we have members of Parliament, and we have the Honorable Seungu Gonzaga from Kalungu. We have Honorable Christine Kaya, my very good friend from Chiboga. We have Honorable Mwaka Tivumbi, the chairman of the Uganda Caucus, Sentebe wa Uganda Caucus, and also the head of the park committee, Neswat Tiwa. He has not served in that capacity. Members of the National Executive Committee, Farida Nawatanzi, you're most welcome. Our head of the Electoral Management Committee, the Election Management Committee, Master Walkamba, all the way from Bobiwine, you're most welcome. And Mutu wa Watu, Chairman Nyanzi, you're most welcome. Yeah, today is dressed like people from a particular country. I will not say they will say it's on their money, but it is in Europe. And our Secretary General, you're most welcome. Mr. President, all those people are here to witness what will be said. And of course, myself, Mr. President, your deputy spokesperson. I am sure Shamim Marende, MP Kampala, you're most welcome. Mon MP Kampala, you're most welcome. Shamim Abadaja Kundi Amua Maso. And my sister from Kisoro, you're most welcome. You're very, very smart. That is NUP. That is not NYS. Mr. President, allow me at this juncture invite Honorable Master Walkamba, our chairperson of the Election Management Committee, to come and speak to us. Madam Mercy, welcome.
Thank you, Comrade Waisa. People power. People power. I, Mercy Walkamba, being the chairperson of the Election Management Committee of the National Unity Platform, I'm here to declare our comrade, who is going to be our official candidate for one member of parliament in the upcoming by-election. She is Sultan Salim. Can you please stand up for recognition? This lady is our official candidate, who is going to be our candidate in the upcoming by-election in Kisoro district. Please let's go there in big numbers to support her, because the win is on our side. Nziramu Luganda, ono candidate waffe, bwe twagaddeko omukono oba bwe twalonze oba bwe twayisiza mu kasengejja, agenda okubeera oba tukwatidde ebendera yaffe mu kawulu ke tugendamu. Tesijjagamba tukakasameeme kuba sapooti tugiina ate candidate waffe mulaba atundika. So tugendeyo mu bungi tumusapootinge tusobole okuleeta win, oba wonna twagala twatinga win. Mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala. We wish you the best. We shall give her support.
But we shall support her.
Mr. President, you will officially come and unveil your next member of parliament for Kisoro, woman MP Kisoro district. The Secretary General will come with you, and the chairperson of the Electoral Management Committee. I would ask the SG to give guidance to Kanyume Lokan.
People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. Mr. President, behold our candidate, your candidate, Comrade Sultana, commonly known as Tana, who is going to be our flag bearer for woman member of parliament, Kisoro district. We shall give her an opportunity to say something right now, but most importantly, it was good for us to unveil her to you. Unfortunately, they have given us a very, very short time for campaigns, only 12 days. You can imagine how unfair the system is. Only 12 days for campaigns in a district which has 24 sub-counties. And you can imagine for the NRM, they've been there already. They started all the way campaigning, doing their primaries and all that. But we are glad we have our candidate, and we shall all be there on ground. So, after taking that picture with the president, I will ask her to say something. Yeah, maybe she can even come and say something.
Mr. President, Secretary General, our MP President, and the NUP fraternity, I greet you all. The people of Kisoro have come here as your sister, your daughter, the people from the Kombira, our Kombira, the Bakimbili communities. I stand before you with a lot of humility and pride to be called your daughter. Kisoro district for the longest time, it's been 40 years, over 40 years, Kisoro has given full support to NRM. Where even they have a saying of Ijana Ijana. Ijana Ijana means 100% NRM. But we can see the people of Kisoro, the number of pledges that this government has given us. We can see you all know that Kisoro is a tourism hub, where in Mountain Mugahinga, we have the largest number of gorillas in the whole world. So, Kisoro speaks for itself, even without an introduction. But if you go, in 2006, they promised us tourism roads. But as we speak, the tourism roads are in a very bad condition. Thank you very much. If you look at our roads, this is not only going to benefit the tourism industry, but also the traders, because we are known as farmers. When it rains in these tourism roads, you really wonder if this is a tourism hub that we should be. Because if you have visited Kisoro, you can see the beauty of Kisoro district. But we are promised, and up to now, we are still in hope. For how long will we wait? People of Kisoro, Ijana Kujana, let us change the narrative, let us change the statement of Ijana Kujana, and we know that that is not what happened, because things are changing. We saw what they did in the 2021 elections. We saw how they arrested us. You saw how they beat our agents on polling stations, where agents at 1 p.m. were chased and the polling stations were closed at 1 p.m. because ballots were already ticked. So we saw all that, and we know people are seeing and people are changing. I know Kisoro right now as we speak, after the NRM primary that just concluded, you saw the impunity, you saw the bribery. Please, Kisoro people, I urge you to change. This is the time, and we have to change now. And there are a lot of things that you have been promised. The John Kale Institute of Science and Technology. As we speak, they laid a stone in 2017, but you can no longer even trace where that stone is. People are moving from Kisoro to go to other districts for education, when we should have such education in Kisoro so that our leaders, we can have better leaders of tomorrow. So I stand here to empower the youth, the girl child, to ensure that we stay in school, and we are going to put up facilities that are going to help us in doing this. I'm going to be an on-ground leader. An on-ground leader, I mean, where I have to engage with you in our dinners. I sit with you and we discuss our issues in a personal level. An on-ground leader is what I'm going to be. And I'm going to be your vocal person, a person who is going to speak for you, not to go and fill the seats in Parliament, but to go and actually advocate for our rights as Kisoro District as we deserve. Thank you very much. Abafumbira kazi, abafumbira, abakimbiri, n'abakimbiri kazi, nchimbere yanyu ndikubasaba ngo duhindure, kuko iki nicyo gihe. Buri munsi tuvuga yuko ari ijana ku ijana, kubera iki tudahinduraho ijana ku ijana, kubera iki nta district yigera ivuga ngo ijana ku ijana, n'igisoro gusa yonze, ariko ubu nzi yuko twenda guhinduraho. Dusindike statement, iyi election igiye kutuyamba, dusindike statement iri kwerekana yuko tuhinduyeho. Nyabona muzi yuko twifuza umuntu wo kutuvugira nka Kisoro, kuko ibyo batubeshe ni byinshi. University yo batubeshe Institute John Kale in memory of the late John Kale. Up to now we don't na n'ubu nta institute dufite. Abana bacu bari kuja mu Ghana district kwiga, kandi ufite kuba ibyo byose biri mu district yacu. Amantuza tourism roads tazo turukubona hagona buri gihe. Nyabona duhindureho mpaka runka mukampwa ya Sultana Salim uwo muzi Katana, duhindureho mwanzo mpaka runka kushaka wafunga.
Thank you. Kukusemeza. People power. Our power. Hey. May I now invite our comrade from Western Uganda. I see you come here, I see comrade Jordan. our Western Uganda brigade. Nobody never kunjirira yasooka people power, our power. And even Sharon is from Kisoro. All right. Comrade Tana, come in front, please. And the president is going to officially hand over this our symbol to you. Please, in front here. The president is going to officially hand over to you our symbol, which is an umbrella, for you to go and hold it with a lot of pride in Kisoro. People power, our power. Kunga Kisoro kunga, kunga Western Uganda kunga. Yeah. Thank you very much. So there we go with our official candidate. Our power. Kunga Kisoro kunga. Kunga Kisoro kunga. Viva kunga, viva. Kisoro, we are coming. Kisoro, we are coming. How I wish the president and the secretariat would give me those 2 weeks in Kisoro. And I see what is in Kisoro. But Kisoro, we are coming. Thank you very much. We surely look forward to doing whatever we can. There's a lot of desire to prove that we are not everywhere, but let them mark us with Kisoro, because we will be there. And let them give us the chance to show who we are and the might that we are, because we are truly a mighty party in Kisoro. That I know, we have the numbers. And we will beat them. We will beat them at that. Mr. President, without wasting any more time, allow us to give this opportunity to Parliament. There is a serious bill and debate concerning coffee, and a lot of people have been hearing a lot of words. We think that we should have the opportunity, being in charge of the fight, and I wish to take this opportunity, Mr. President, to report to you and ask all of us here to put up, to give a thunderous hand clap to our parliamentary team. They have defined us right, that when we mean something, we go for it. And when we stand together, we can beat them no matter the odds. We want to thank the able leadership of Honorable Joel Senyonyi,
the able leadership of Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi at the center stage of making sure that we fight for the voices that are voiceless. They put up a very good struggle. You heard what happened there, and we are very grateful for that. So ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, allow me invite Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi. But before I invite Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi, selector is very far. Let me have Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi to come and tell us something. But then those you have Akamwani, but it is far. Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi, sir.
Come on.
Your Excellency, the President, the Secretary General, the National Organizing Secretary, honorable colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I have been given this opportunity. Once again, let me first explain who I am. I'm a chairperson of Uganda Parliamentary Caucus. And people should understand how I became a chairperson of Uganda Parliamentary Caucus. I'm deployed by the National Unity Platform to be chairperson of Uganda Parliamentary Caucus. It's because of our numbers in Parliament, in the caucus, that I managed to be elected a chairperson. Therefore, I give first accountability to my president and to the party. That's why I'm going to explain how far this is taken. Now, coffee. Why coffee? Coffee today is grown by 12.5 million Ugandans. They are in the coffee sector. Coffee today, this financial year alone, and Uganda net earnings 1.4 billion US dollars. 1.4 billion translated in shillings is nearly 5 trillion Uganda shillings. That's so remarkable. And why today? So when we are speaking about coffee, we are not speaking about any other crop. Two, coffee transcends Uganda. It's a national crop. Actually, there is a type of coffee that is not grown in Uganda at all. That is the Arabic coffee. It's grown in part of Western Uganda and in Rugisu region. But even today, coffee has transited the ordinary boundaries. It's no longer grown in Rugisu, in Uganda, in parts of Rwenzori. No. Actually, Usoga, West Nile, and all other regions. Actually, today, the most upcoming region in growing coffee is Western Uganda. Therefore, when we are speaking about coffee, we are speaking about Uganda in totality. So what's a crisis in Parliament? In Parliament, we are now dealing with a very big issue. Government come up, by the way, government of Uganda did not come up with the policy of rationalization. My 10 years as the Shadow Minister for Finance, we made a case that government was too big, duplicating so many roles, being extravagant, and in our manifesto, we advocated for a lean, efficient government bureaucracy. So it's actually a National Unity Platform that has delivered the agenda for cleaning up the extravagancy in government. And this should be clapped for ourselves. Therefore, there is nothing like the government was with, because it is President Yoweri himself, no, it is General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni who abolished all these other things, Coffee Marketing Board, whatever. Therefore, General Museveni should not lay a claim that he is a grandfather of rationalization. it is actually us who made the case. Now, from our standpoint, we are not total against rationalization of agencies. And in Parliamentary, Honorable President, Your Excellency, we have supported almost 90% of agencies that have been rationalized. And led by the able leadership of our leader of opposition, Honorable John Sanyoni, we've been able to support various bills. But for every rule, there is an exception. Even the government agencies, even the agencies to be privatized, to be rationalized by government, it's not all of them. Some have remained. The National Oil Company, the National Oil Authority, including Kampala State Council Authority. If they want to talk about duplication, just go to Kampala State Council. They have a minister and a deputy minister. They have an executive director. They have a Lord Mayor. They have a speaker, a very powerful speaker. So if they wanted to crowd out duplication, they should have started with the KCCA and taken away all the ministers and blah blah, and we go back to the mayor being the head of that institution. But that's not to be the case, and we're not making that case. And they said the National Uganda Revenue Authority. By the way, Uganda Revenue Authority is also an agency that was created of late. It is also under the Ministry of Finance. Therefore, rationalization is not omnibus. So there are some agencies that needs to be spared. Now, why do we make a case for coffee? We grow coffee, export coffee, but we are not a hugely a coffee consuming country. Ethiopia grows more coffee than us, but Ethiopia consumes a lot of coffee internally. Nearly 90% and almost 95% of our coffee is for export. The countries where we export coffee have become very keen because of the new non-communicable diseases on what their citizens consume. So when you export to a country accredits you and satisfies you that the quality of the product you have exported, and for them they have imported, they are to a standard which will not cause health issues to their citizens. Therefore, for coffee, they accredited the Uganda Coffee Development Authority to have the power, to have the stamp, it's the only authority that stamps every bag of coffee that gets exported out of this country. And when that accreditation is withdrawn, you can no longer export your product to some particular countries. Therefore, the struggle one is that if you dissolve, because Section 4 of the bill talks about dissolving UCDA. But then let me tell the country, the talk of 3 years being marketed is not anywhere in the bill. The bill does not in any way talk about 4 years. They are talking about a dissolution of coffee, UCDA, instantly. When you dissolve, instantly you lose the accreditation. When you lose the accreditation, you can no longer export coffee. And therefore, this move by government, I don't know in which phase, is to ensure that the new wealth that has come up with adding up to 5 trillion is to really collapse the coffee. So we are telling the president, one, best practices for coffee. We are not the only coffee growing country. Ethiopia does, Kenya does, Brazil does, Honduras does, Vietnam does, Cambodia does, and a host of other countries. Now, the global market in its unique way for coffee is that coffee, not in any country, is being done through a main ministry. It is through an agency model. An agency model is like you have a special purpose vehicle for marketing coffee and growing coffee. And the thing about coffee exports is about the quality of your coffee. However, the quality of coffee is not determined at export level. It is determined right from the nursery bed to how you organize your plantations, to how you harvest your coffee, how you dry it, how you roast it, and how you pack it, and how you export it. So along that value chain, you need a 24-hour monitoring capability by a specific agency dedicated to ensure that at no stage, at every stage, you have to get it right. Therefore, when you crowd out coffee and dissolve the UCDA and put coffee in the Ministry of Agriculture, which has all agricultural products, which has tea, tobacco, ware, vanilla, blah, blah, you may lose that eagle eye for detail. And therefore, you may affect the quality of our coffee. Now, for those countries, it is the question of a random sample. When you export containers of coffee, they just pick a container and say, we are going to check this one. Once they check one, and it's not up to standard, they reject the whole consignment. Not the whole consignment, they review your accreditation. Therefore, if you want to rationalize coffee and to rationalize UCDA, you are removing an agency that has built expertise, capability, and knowledge, and the marketing capacity to market our coffee. And consequently, you will do so. We are not the first country to try to do what the government is trying to do. Ethiopia tried. Kenya, our neighbors, tried. They abolished their coffee board and coffee authorities and mainstreamed the coffee into the main ministry. In 3 years, they had lost 50% of their coffee exports. Common sense. Once bitten, twice shy. If Kenya tried it and failed, and they are reverted back to the government, to the agency model, why do you want to reinvent the wheel? Why do you want to try something that has failed elsewhere? We are simply telling government, please don't do so. It's been tried elsewhere and found wanting. Secondly, if UCDA, because the argument of General 7 is that it is the Operation Wealth Creation that has led to this success, that is a wrong assumption. There have been so many, but they could have played a small role. Operation Wealth Creation was only at the distribution of seedling stage. Seedlings they were distributing were coming from nursery beds that had been monitored and prepared, organized by UCDA. And from there afterwards, it is UCDA that has been taking over. Therefore, and also the case is, Operation Wealth Creation was not only for coffee. It was for vanilla, it was for mango, it was for limawa, it was for many other things. Let them show us the success of those other crops. Let them show us success, how they've succeeded. Now, the Minister of Agriculture, the people from Chisoro, Kanungu, the Minister of Agriculture solely has been undertaking our tea. What happened to our tea? We lost accreditation. We cannot export as Uganda tea. What happens? We age our tea on the Kenyan market and it's bought by Kenyans, packed Uganda tea, packed and stamped Kenya and exported to the world. It has been under the watchful eye of the Ministry of Agriculture. They fed on fish until they are trying to put in the military. They fed on any. I've asked the Ministry of Agriculture to give us one crop which they can give us to build the confidence as a benchmark where they have succeeded. Absolutely none. Therefore, we are saying this agency, by the way, in addition to being a chairperson of Ghana Parliamentary Caucus, I also chair Public Accounts Committee. Still cutters of this paper, of this party, and I've just made a very fundamental report, SE, on the national economy, to which government up to now is struggling to put a response. But that's for another day. I've just audited the Ministry of Agriculture. This is the ministry that is in intensive care. It is on oxygen. It is very, very sick ministry. It cannot score a plus on anything. It scores on the minuses. And therefore, this sick ministry, you cannot entrust it with your health what? Baby. Now, the president of the party, Honorable Robert Chavanchi Setam, in the morning, tasked me to come and explain to you why the parliamentary stand, why is the caucus. By the way, give due regards to our leader of opposition. For the first time in the history of Parliament, for as long as I've been there for 10 years, about 10, 12 years. For the first time, Honorable Robert, Right Honorable Joel Senyon was able to write a minimum number of MPs that are required to challenge a decision of a speaker. Because ordinarily, the speaker has been using that window of I, and nay, and past dubious things from today. That is of the record set by Joel Senyon will not permit the Speaker of Parliament to pass any other resolution which is anti-people without people voting and Ugandans knowing who has voted. So they will no longer hide under eyes, no. We will just stand up, photo of us and say, let's go to the vote. If the matter is that contentious, we will not do it on every other bill. But know that we feel that are so critical to the welfare of Uganda. I think thanks to the National Unity Platform and our leadership that record that ministry power for which Right Honorable Speaker Anita Among has been hiding to pass dubious budgets, dubious expenditure, Roko, Atianga, where we can now have the number and the courage to challenge it. That's not a minor's achievement. Mr. President, also our argument, because finally we are saying our position as a caucus is that don't rationalize, don't abolish UCPA. Rationalization means abolishing. Dissolving. Section 4 of the bill says we shall dissolve UCDA. We are saying best practices of goodwill is to do it through agency. And the President, Mr. President, you can no longer, and I think General Museveni is going to be hooked on this one proper. If he believes in it, he should wait. Mr. President, in the next 12 months, we shall find him down in the trenches. And on coffee, he's going to lose totally. So we are in it for a long haul. It's not an issue we are going to give up. It will not stop on, even if the marshal numbers, this one, we will struggle and take it to the people of Uganda and they tell the president, hands off. Actually, there has been a propaganda, which I will use, Mr. President, in a minute to debunk. The propaganda is that the president called me on the question of UCDA. The president did not call me. Led by the able leadership of the leader of opposition, we agreed to do everything to talk to anybody to save coffee. So in the morning, we decided to meet the Speaker of Parliament and make our case. And please, you know, when you are weak, by the way, let us struggle to go to power. You plead with these people as if we are pleading with the angels on simple, obvious things. So in the morning, the Speaker knows. The caucus met the Speaker, and in the meeting, we made the case. The Speaker said, "Party people are damn right, but my hands are tied. I'm sent to do this job by the President, and how much ministers a little bit dishonest, without seeking the opinion of the caucus." She called the President there and then, said, "Mr. President, the caucus is here. It has made a good case. He thinks this bill is wrong and therefore it should be removed." That is their view. And without even said, "Chairman, here is the president. Here is General Museveni." So there were two things I could do: to refuse And when I refuse, shall say it's you as the chair of caucus who refused to speak to General Museveni. So what do? I said, okay, give me that General Museveni. Immediately said, you omututu mu Luganda. Omututu obuzaabuza abantu osigamawanga okola biki muli eyo mubuzaabuza abantu temutegeera. Very crude and becoming of the president for someone he has never talked to. Then I said, okay, Mr. President, for me I come from Butambala. When I meet a stranger, I greet him with salam. Okay, salam alaikum. Then he realized that civil people don't start addressing others so crudely. And he sobered up. I said, now, okay, now I hear you now. What are you saying? I told him, Mr. President, what the hell do you want our coffee for? I gave him all the rationale. I said, no, my government will not accept your propaganda, you are misleading people. I told him, Mr. President, you accept. I used it now, you can't call the President General. I said, yeah, General President, our stand at the caucus, our stand at the coffee growing community in Uganda, leave UCDA alone. And the business was closed. He said, you go to hell. You are just another radical Muganda. That's why on the floor of Parliament, by the way, God is good. All the time, God is what? Now, the country did not know that this law had been brought to target a particular tribe until the Speaker of Parliament, on the floor of Parliament, now reviewed. She forgot to switch off the mic. That's when God was fighting for the people of Uganda. She forgot to switch off the what? The mic. And made a blunder of all blunders. By the way, in other countries, if it had happened in Europe, in everywhere, Anita Among would have resigned yesterday. Two things happened. A Speaker of Parliament, when I were appointed by the, for example, I'm a chairperson of Uganda Parliamentary Caucus. Much as I'm NUP, I have other members of caucus who are not NUP. I have members of caucus of NRM, of DP, of CP, of Independent. As long as they come from what? This region. So when I'm in that chair, I don't necessarily take the national unity position. I tried to, even if it's a national unity platform position, I try to market it. But I try to try as much as possible to be neutral. Because that's the leadership code of what? Conduct. Now, the Speaker of Parliament is stopped by our rules of procedure to participate, to debate on a matter on the floor. But for her now to take side and say, do we have numbers? That means she had a side. Then use the staff of Parliament to say, please ensure these Uganda don't get the numbers. Now, the Speaker of Parliament in Uganda, we have the anti-sectarian law. So the Speaker of Parliament abused the anti-sectarian law, and as day follows night, when Parliament resumes, tomorrow we are sitting as a caucus again to review our stand, but we don't think two things. We don't think Speaker Anita Among can no longer preside over that Parliament where they are Uganda. Because she's not going to take us away. Is she going to take us away? We are there on the rights of people, so she will not do that. Secondly, we've told her, if we really want, offer an equivocal apology to the people of Uganda and to the people of Uganda. Something I've said, if you fail to do so, resign. The next action, I'll not reveal it here, I need to first approve with our members, which we have, the idea we have. We may, we are saying we may, if she insists. But be as it may, we will ensure Parliament does not proceed on any other matter until that one is resolved. That is our stand. Finally, in English, the President wrote the other day that we are tribal. That the people, now, of the things I've said about, of what is tribe there. But let us examine President Museveni on tribalism. where he has the moral authority whatsoever to call any group tribal. This is the president, so to say, for the first time, who appointed her wife a minister, his wife a minister, his son a CPF, his brother a small president, his Bako running the judiciary, running the coffee. Now, can he talk about the tribe? For him, he's even beyond the tribe. His family. But also let us examine if he doesn't have a conspiracy, because at the end of the day, I read the caucus, if he doesn't have a conspiracy against the people of Uganda, Vice President, he says, is Yoweri Kaguta Museveni under his regime. Deputy is who? Anupu. Speaker, Anita who? Vice Speaker, Thomas who? Chief Justice, Prime Minister, there are 4. One is Nabanja, she's from Bunyoro. Deputy is Moses Sali. Third is Rebecca Kadaga. Another one is Nakadam. Let's go to his direct appointments. Chief of Defense Forces, Muhozi who? Chief of Police, Abbas who? Chief of Prisons who? Biarasaija. So where do you, Mr. President, get the moral authority? You, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, to say a particular group is sectarian. You should go and sleep over that. Then on coffee, so we have debunked his notion of tribalism. Then on coffee, simple analogy. Some people, Bobiwine and others, have been trying to market some idea that we dismissed as a caucus. And let me stand here. 3 years, 5 years is not a position of the caucus. The position of caucus is for non-dissolution of UCDA. I've given a crude example for clarity. Can you take a virgin woman to a labor ward and say, let me keep you there, you are still virgin, but somehow you'll get a man, and along the way, you'll be pregnant, but you'll give birth in 3 months. You must be a crazy person. Therefore, 3 years don't mean anything. For us, we are saying coffee is too big a crop to be under the Ministry of Agriculture. It's too big a crop to be under the Ministry of Agriculture, and we are going to do everything possible. But remember, members of National Platform and the country, MPs are not enough. You people, I thank each of you who have been on social media, who have been using every platform, every media to amplify this message. Please, thank you so much. But let's do more. Tomorrow we shall announce an action plan on how we are going to fight this issue for the next 1 or 2 weeks. It is half time. It could be 1 year, but there's still another half to play for. There is still clause 4 for which we are going to resist. Clause 4 is for dissolution of UCDA, the caucus, and other members. And please do a roll call of all members of the Uganda caucus who never attended the meeting. Where were they? Each of them must account. Where were you when coffee was being taken? No, yes. Mr. President, I thank you so much, Your Excellency. Muganda kantandikireni jenkomi. Twasijja kulwawo. Ekyogeragala President tasobola kujja wano takyalina moral authority General Museveni. Museveni tokyalina moral authority kuyita muntu yenna tribal. Teri ali tribal gwe kusingayo Museveni. Kwasinga okuba tribal. Gwe President wa Uganda yakasooka okulonda mukyalawo n'omufuula minisita. Nolonda mutabani we taiti akulira amagye. Muganda wo General Sali Musale y'omukati alinga naye President omuto. Nakwata bakoddomi be kati mpulira mukoddomi we omulwawo ogwo ngenda basomera wano kampani zemanyi okumanya Museveni alimba alowooza tuli badongo. We twogerera yamaze dda okukontraktinga ebitongole ebimu okutunda emmwanyi era ngenda bibagulira wano nga mala. Mutegere nti ekimutwaze emmwanyi ajjawo UCDA kugissa mu nsonda agiwe peneti, kugissa mu nsonda agiwe ki lwabooko. Yamaze dda okukola endagaano ne kampani y'Abachina, Chinese Construction Company, okugenda okutunda emmwanyi wa China. Ekiraavaamu zino emmwanyi zijja kukola ebbeeyi ku faamu y'omulimi. N'olwekyo ku kiri ekya tribe, Mr. President, tukuyite mukyabani naye ne gavumenti yo gye walonda General Museveni katugitunulemu. Bw'oba Abaganda tebalinaako kikyamu. Olaba omusajja oyo Ssaabasajja nga mugagga, nga mulwadde, ng'ayagala obujjanjabi, ng'abanja gavumenti ya General Museveni bilioni 2.5 teyasobola wadde okumuwaako bilioni 5. Musajja wattu yejjanjabi. Omutya omulwadde alwadde akubanja n'otamuwa ssente, n'otamusasula ki ssente ze. Nene kyala walonda kabineti katugitunulemu ssebo. Omumyuka wo alupo Speaker Parliamentary kuba bayisa mu kokasiyo Anita Among tayewa ya mumyuka omulamuzi Winidolo ba Prime Minister bali bana ye Winidolo ba Prime Minister bali bana asooka ye Nabbanja mukazi Munyolo, amudira Moses Ali ava mu West Nile, amudira Rebecca Kadaga Musoga, owokusatu Nakadama Musoga. Sina Baganda akola ki? Butera ye Deputy Chief Justice. Butera ne mubaloya nga tusomya amateeka wano tofunayo wadde n'omu ogwakale beerako omumyuka wa Chief Justice. N'ogenda n'olonda amagye n'ogawa Muhoozi Kainerugaba, n'olonda poliisi n'ogiwa Baasi, n'ogenda n'olonda ki prison n'ogiwa byaki byabasajja. Kati atukwata yani ye Muhoozi Kainerugaba n'Abaasi, atusalira emisango ye Winidolo, atutwala okutusiba otusibisa wani wabyabasajja. Ne kkooti y'amagye ani agipulira by the way? Ani akulira kkooti y'amagye abaana baffe gye babadde? Yani ne kkooti y'amagye naye ya muki ya Mugabe. Naye ngenda ku bitongole ebikesi, ani director wa ISO Magambo, ana Mumyuka Katabazi, ani director wa ESO badipisi bonna. Sebo president ebyamawanga biveeko sirika Museveni sirike ku byamawanga. Amawanga ye kyayi, ye sapa, ye dina gy'olya ewaka. Waliyo ne byabakama yakulya akakiiko kaki k'ebyokulonda. Kakati gwe ssebo musajja gwe General Museveni ojawa n'otengerera n'ossa ekiwandiiko kyabo b'amawanga teri akusinga kusosola amawanga okujjako gwe. Ne bwali ogenda mu nsiko ate si National Unity Platform mugirabe Secretary General waffe ye Rubongoya kiki ekyo? Oyo Omuganda oyo Omuganda. Kakati ffe awo twasukawo dda awo wooli mu mawanga. Emboozi y'amawanga giveeko totubuzaabuza. Ensonga eziri mu ddiiro bbiri. Esooka emmwanyi togikwatako. Eyokubiri Anita Among eyakoze byakola togenda mu mwekwekamu yeekweke wo ng'ogenda kutusaasaanya ku mawanga. Anita must go. Kati ebyo tuwulira ebirala mboozi kinyumye obulala tuli kinyumya nga tukutwale wa Mukama Katonda. So totunyumya tetwagala abavuga ennaku zino bagamba tetwagala kukola ki manya. Tetwagala kukola ki manya. Twagala ebintu bibiri. Emmwanyi giveeko, Anita must resign. Z'ensonga mmeka? Bbiri. Kati totunyumiza mawanga biki byonna byetugamba kyemmwanyi bajasi be bagikolako obulima abo bwe bakolako buligwa. Vanira gwe bakolako aliwa bayinywa abantu obusaanyi buliwa. Eyo minisitule y'agriculture tetwala emmwanyi zaffe nakamala gikolako audit. Eyo ye minisitule yagula embuzi. Mukitegere yagula embuzi emu obukadde 7, embuzi emitwalo 2 ne zifa mu wiiki 2. nga baziguze obukadde buki buli mbuzi zafa mu wiiki 2. wetotali mbuzi naki ye ministry yagula tractor. abatamanyi tractor ekikola tractor hydraulic system eno yesitula yagula tractor nezitwala Karamoja nga tekuli number plate naye nga zagenda nga hydraulic system zaazo tezikola ziri eyo mu Uganda zonna. eyo ministry bagiwa okutambuza amazzi ag'ennimiro etulageyo pampu n'emu. eyo ministry erwadde covid eri mu ICU tosobola kutwalayo bebi waffe emwanyi. yaganda nokuleeta minerals. What happened? ebyennyanja byagirema buli kimu kyakikolaki nekirema kyatasobola kuluno kutuusa mu mawanga. mwebaza ababaka ba Parliament 7 twalonze bavudeni all of Uganda bonna mwabaddemu abakyoliibo olanyabani abagisutu abadde nabo. Mr. President amawanga mwene ensonga tegagenda kukola okakozesa kukumanyi Tamongo eyagenze n'akola ki mu General Museveni. eno ensonga tegenda kukola ku nsonga eno tukkirize tukutwale. naye tumugambe na kino mu abantu bawa lubalembera ngaokoze eki kati buli omu twebaza abali ku social media. waliwo omwana yakikoledde senga mumanyi yagenze n'akuba emandwa n'akuba omutongozi emandwa kanyunyusi yakoze omulimu. waliwo abawala tulabe nga boogera ebigambo ebirungi ku social media. buli omu gyali speak so act like so. tujja kugenda mu maaso tujja kuwangula Ssaabasajja Kabaka awangaali. Nakati banzijukiza wano giri emyaka 2 ejaba egiwanika 3 ebyo bibye 5 ebyo bibye position ya kokasi erikirya ekyesimu nze muwanga Kivumbi nsulira ne President General Museveni engamba yange tagiina. twali twegayirira bannange tubonaabona twegayirira sipiika ku makyalo tutegeere tuleme kugenda mu Parliament kulwana nekunga ababaka ba Parliament bonna abatagala mwanyi tugende tusinkane sipiika. etuba twali twogera ne sipiika laga nti ngamba tegedde nnyo nga mulabika muli batuufu nnyo. ensonga zammwe ngezi ez'amagezi, ensonga zammwe nga eza common sense. naye n'ensonga President yagintuma zisobola gibasalirawo mu ngeri y'olukwesikwesi n'akwata essimu nga tuli mu meeting awo n'ababaka bonna n'atuira President nti amubuulire bitwogedde oba tyabimubuulira bulungi nebanga tabitegedde bulungi. naye mukazi wattu oluvannyuma naga nti kale ne kyamaani atwala abaana ababaka waali gyogera naye ng'atuteze obukodyo bubiri. tetugaana okwogera ne General Museveni ajja kugamba nti ffe abantu ffe twawaayo emwanyi twagaana okwogera ne President. nemugagandi nze ndi musajja ate oyo agenda kumukola ki n'agimpa n'atandika mu ngeri etali ya bulijjo. nagamba gwe omaze ebbanga lyonna ng'oli mututu nga nkunoonya. nagamba nti akati gwe oli eyo musiriwaza abantu mwonoona abantu musika bukyayi bw'amawanga nayombera eddakiika naye musajja gwe n'enkola eyaffe ey'obufirika omuntu buli gwotamanyi osooka n'okola ki n'omubuuzaako. ne bakale nze yakuzibwa obulungi kakutolere salaamu kamuguze ku mpisa benamubingiza ku mpisa olwo n'adamako omutale ogamba ki ne munyonyola byembanyonyodde mu mwanyi kimwanyi giveeko togikwatako y'abantu baffe ye maama ye taata yetubeezaawo kireke ne munyonyola bayawe wakati w'emmwanyi n'amafuta. nemugambagana amafuta koteredde ebitongole National Oil Company bisaawe biki senga tutasima okumala emyaka 25 tugenda kufuna billion US dollars 22 ebyo biri mu ndagaano billion dollars 22 okumala emyaka 25 si buli mwaka mu myaka 25 billion dollars 22 ng'olwagambe dola balo y'amafuta ejagula dola 5 olwaleero balo egula 10 lwaki amafuta gano gonna gemulaba bakuba jejerebu bakola biki tugenda kugafunamu billion dollars ng'eggwanga kubanga endagaano mbi nabanyonyola dda nga ne finance minister kyamafuta Museveni yagatunda tetunakola ki tetunaoyogera Museveni tugenda kufuna mu busente butono nnyo. Emmwanyi leero twalese 1.4 billion tetunafuna million bags 20 tugenda kuba tulina billion 3 the trillion 10 buli mwaka tetugenda kuba nga tukola ki nga tufuna mu myaka 25 emmwanyi ejja kubeerese billion 75 nekyo tiru y'emmwanyi esinga ey'amafuta ogenda owala kyokola balese Lwabugo alese simanyi inspire Uganda agiwadde Abachina Peneti twamugobesa bugobesi mutugire Peneti mu nsonda wali waki waali Ssaabasajja Kabaka awangaale ne mugamba twala eriko ebintu byo tubiwulidde tukutegedde Katonda omulungi ono atalya nguzi laba omukongozi we anite bwavaayo n'atunyonyola bulungi ekyama ekiri emabega kyatagetinga Baganda. Mwamutegedde Your Excellency webali kunonda nenkulira nembeera finance minister nembeera kyeyawa kokasi nembeera kyeyawa paaka senga sigwe senga siriwe ompatele ku sente Ssaabasajja Kabaka akoleki mbimanyi mbikola lwa President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu akuwazi ekiseera kyonna
Bagambako yogoyaye bwakugwa naye nja tugenda kubeera ku Paala FM y'emmwanyi ebyo Honorable Kirumira Hassan Kulaba has joined us. Mayor Serunjoji Owedembe, you're most welcome. Doctor, that one is very educated, he has a doctorate in what? Public administration. Dr. Serunjoji Owedembe. Yes, even today we have Kaluya. I talked about you. Oh, the man from the Eastern Uganda. And of course, our PPS is with us. Sarah Mwonge, you're most welcome. We have Honorable Katabazi, he joined us, you're most welcome. We have Honorable Serukenya David, you're most welcome. Machinje Sabagabo. So, Mr. Mwanga Chivumbi, Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Agriculture, Wamwita Media Chasura Chomukam. Naye Minister of Agriculture, mu by'okubba yafuna omudaali mu ministry gye yali bamuyita tumwebazi. Ye mumyuka wa Minister of Agriculture. N'omumyuka era Mirama, banaye Museveni toli musosozi. Uliriza, ayina la Mirama, ate amanya ge gamuze, sitakwatanga amenya la Mirama, tumwebaze. Meja Cholisima, they are the ones managing where they want to send the coffee. Atenga Lwabogo, bwe bawazire biliyoni ennya mwenda muligo okunywa kaawa. Naye kubameka wana abafuna ko kaawa oyo gwe yagabira abantu Lwabogo. Era ne mu Parliament ya Uganda Anita Among ya facilitating Lwabogo okufuna Lwabogo yawasa muwala wa Museveni kati oyo mukodomi waki wa Museveni omulimu gwakola kati gwa kutunda kaawa bamuwa $1,000,000 ze biliyoni 37 anonya akatale nawe bakwa biliyoni 37 n'obanga obeere waife mu kyalo Idudi wallahi osobola onoonya bakwa abafuna ayina 37 biliyoni 4 kunywako mbwa abanywa abantu bayiga okunywa kaawa kyokka ate ne bamwongera 37 agenda amutunda eweeru yo yayogera ku mawanga so byonna bali mu lukwesikwesi ye yennyini kuba twagamba dda nti Pineti ye Museveni teri Pineti ye Museveni so Museveni akozesa kati gavumenti eno gye yawamba okuwa Pineti okwewa naye mwebale nnyo mwebali ddala baka ba Parliament era tuli mabega wammwe ffe twabagamba ati abantu abo olwabwerusa si beerufu nnyo naye nga balowooza tulimba. She's a mafia so ffe ebyokumujja mu ntebe ffe tujja kubawakira ndowooza ne NUP ejja kubawakira But that has been our position since then. Mr. Secretary General, come and address the press and also invite the President.
Thank you very much. Ugalobwa Comrade Wise wa Alex Mtongo. People power. Our power. People power. Mr. President, members of NEC present, members of Parliament, mayors, speakers, councillors, fellow leaders at different levels. I think I will not say much because I think Honorable Mwanga Chibumi has done as well to elaborate what is going on. Tubadde twanjula candidate waffe deposita katujirage bannamawulire agenda kwaniriza president abantu balage nti tuli serious kati tugenda Kisoro very very soon. Please put it up very well. Secondly, I want to announce to you, ladies and gentlemen, we have been telling you that we are soon resuming our nationwide tour, and next week we shall start our nationwide tour. I don't want to tell you which district we are going. Eastern Uganda, Mutulinde, Kwarachi, Tuja. Yes, isn't this a wonderful poster for our candidate in Kisoro? So we are going to be in Kisoro. The nominations are going to be this week in Kisoro, and we shall all be there to support our candidate. Tugenda kwera mu district ya Kisoro nga bwe mbagambye regime already erimu kulaga first of all okutya kyobola bakoze buli kimu kyonna kyonna okulaba nga batuwa akabanga akatono nnyo for campaigns. Bweraba district erina egombolola 24 naye ne bakuwa ennaku 12 zokka okampeininga. Ate mumanye nti ebyo ebitundu biri diverse. Olaba osobola okuva mu kitundu kimu ng'olina okuvuga essaawa 2 okutuuka mu kitundu ekirala, naye okuba tebaagala tutuukeyo kyova olaba batuwadde baagala tubeere mu gombolola 2 kwa president. Edda etteeka lyali likyogera bulungi nti presidential candidate alina okubeera mu district emu buli lunaku, naye mu kulonda kuno kwaggwa kubanga baali batutya nnyo batulemesa ne twesanga tulina okukola district 3 buli lunaku. Kati bye bakola ebyo kyova olaba awamu twali tugendayo ssaawa 4 ez'okumakya ne tuvaayo nga tulina okubeera wala ssaawa 6, ate tuveeyo tugenda walala ssaawa 8 oba 9, era ne bakugamba bali ssaawa 12 olina okuba olekeddaawo okukampeininga. Kati nkyasiseeyo mukitegeera mwenna nti bakimanyi bulungi nnyo nti singa tufuna ekiseera ekimala n'abantu b'Ekisoro ne tutuuka mu buli kitundu kyonna mu district eyo, baba tebalina kyebalimba abantu kubanga bo batambulira ku bulimba byabadde ayogerako kandidate waffe 100%. Bagenda ne basibiwaza abantu tebabawa services. Mwala wajuzi twagendayo president waffe bwe yakyalira abantu beeyo abatwa nasanga nga tebalina tanks, tebalina mazzi, tebalina kyakozesa kyonna, era ne tugenda ne tubadde ne balingira tanka n'emmere n'ebirala bwe bityo. Kakati abantu abo ne tugezaako okubagula amaaso. Kati kyova olaba batuwa period ntono nnyo eyo campaigninga kubanga tebaagala tutuuke eri abantu tubazuukuse tubagule amaaso. Naye kyenjagala obakakasa tugenda kubeerayo, era tubasaba mwenna abasobola mugende mubeere Ekisoro, at least mukole ekintu kimu kyonna ekyokuzibula bano abantu amaaso okulaba nti 100% tekola. Kubanga 100% kudirukinga abantu tebalina byakulya, ng'abantu tebalina mayumba, tebalina we basula, abaana tebasoma. Eyo district is one of the poorest districts in Uganda. Eyo kyetwogerako Kisoro. Naye n'owulira nga basiriwaza ba RDC bagenda ku radio ne bagamba 100%, ekitegeeza 100%. Mu kulonda okwagwa bwe baalaba bye twali tukola ne bakwata bano abantu abasinga ne babasiba candidates agents baffe ne babasiba n'ebirala bwe bityo. So tujja Ekisoro okulaba nga candidate waffe Honorable Tana kankuyite ne Honorable nga bukyali, naye temulaba nti asobolera ddala wa Honorable amusobolera ddala already confirmed. Kale, wananga si tuteude bonna bulala. I don't want to waste any other time. Yeah, before I actually, that's a very important thing. Before I invite the president, our comrade Achileo is here. Where is he? Comrade Achileo, who just returned from detention for a very long time.
In your eyes, everything you want to give up, I can feel your pain.
Sebo tukusanyukidde okulaba olunaku olwaleero kubanga ye press conference yo esoose okubeera wano. Ono omukulu yatwala wano mu nsonga za security ku kitebe kyaffe. Omanyi bulungi nnyo be bamutuusaako n'ebirala bwe bityo. Naye nammwe njagala kubeebaza mwenna abadimandinga for the release of Comrade Achileo. Mwebale nnyo abaabeeranga bakuleetedde sabule kubanga abasajja bwe bakwata Achileo kye basooka okukola mukimanyi bulungi nnyo, bamwambula sabule ye era president n'ajja wano n'agibalaga. Mwebale nnyo honorable. Eno yavudde Vatican era ndaba ekifaananyi kya Papa weekiri. Thank you for coming back. Strong. Mr. President, without taking any other time, let me invite you to come and address these people and the nation. People power. Our power. NUP. Everywhere. NUP. Everywhere.
Thank you.
People power. Our power. NUP. And everywhere.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please resume your seats. Thank you, SG. I also want to add my voice in welcoming back Comrade Achileo. Strong, brother, strong. One day all this will be history. I also want to congratulate Comrade Tana, Honorable Tana. Already confirmed. We'll be there, we'll stand with you, and we'll weather the storm together. I've not seen Swabra or Vijaya. I want to congratulate them. What a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time on Saturday. Congratulations, comrade. Honorable Mwanga Chibumbi did justice to this matter, and that has helped me. I'm going to be very, very brief on this coffee bill. Although Honorable Mwanga Chibumbi was a little too diplomatic, and he had a lot of English, like all experts. But in simple terms, this coffee bill is an attack on coffee farmers in Uganda. And this is not Anita Mong's bill, this is Museveni's bill. Museveni is the architect of this bill. Among and others are only enablers. This is not the first attempt. Museveni tried to take your coffee, hiding behind Beneti. So this is yet another attempt, and he will not stop until we stop not just the bill, but the man himself. It is no secret. He has a very, very clear path, a clear trail behind him. Remember what happened to vanilla. Once upon a time, a kilo of vanilla was 300,000 shillings. And now, it's 10,000 shillings, I think. 3,000 a kilo. But the price of vanilla on the international market has not reduced. But now, it's just a few people Sudhir's son and a few people connected to the powerful are the ones that own Uganda's vanilla, all your vanilla. Not only vanilla. Abasoga Maliwo, you know what happened to the sugar cane? It started by zoning, now you know how much a sugar cane is. The price of sugar just continues to go up. Same thing that happened to many other things, including Mairunji. Pineapples, etc, etc, etc. The people that come from West Nile, you know what happened to tobacco. No wonder you don't have thriving, distributors, you don't have sportsman, Benson and Hedges, and all those other cigarette factories and manufacturers here anymore. It was deliberate. The people of Western Uganda, you know what happened to milk. Milk products have never cut prices. Family. And all the gold mines, if it's not for Jene, it's for Sale. If it's not Sale, it's Mohozi. If it's not Mohozi, it is Sodo and others. You know what is happening to our fish? You cannot fish on our God-given lakes, given to a few people. So me, I want to be blunt and say that all lucrative sectors are given to Museveni's family in a way of colonizing you further, of taking away your national wealth, of making sure they control your income, because only poor people can be effectively controlled. That is what Museveni is doing. These are not amongs. They are only tools. They are pawns being used. Forget the nonsense of cutting costs. That is a blunt lie. I mean, the same person that is claiming that is cutting costs has RDCs, useless RDCs. Now deputy RDCs and assistant deputies. Sounds like a joke, but it's true. That is Museveni for you. The same person who claims he wants to cut costs has 82 ministers. Many of them, I'm sure he does not know them. That's a person who's claiming he wants to cut costs. He has presidential advisors. He uses 2 billion every day. He oversees the loss of 10 trillion shillings in corruption. The same person who could control it. It is under his protection that one of his courts smuggled a bill of 9.6 billion shillings. Apparently, like Comrade Wise was saying, to teach Ugandans how to drink coffee. That is the person who is claiming to want to cut costs. In the Dubai Expo, they spent 3 billion of our money just to hire a store. Omdala, Momolesobe Dubai, 3 million in commissar. The same person, the same regime that claims they want to cut costs under State House alone. I mean, he claims he wants to merge, and that's a lie, it's not merging. Like Honorable Mwangati Vumbi put it clearly, Section 4 of that bill puts it clear. They want to scrap UCDA and put it under Ministry of Agriculture. But the same person knows that we have URA, but he created the Revenue Intelligence Unit and he gave it to a known thief. The same person knows that we have Ministry of Health, but under State House, there's Health Monitoring Unit with a budget. The same person claiming he wants to cut costs. We have Ministry of Lands, but he created Land Monitoring, Land Protection Unit under State House. It goes on and on and on and on and on. You have IDG, but you have State House Anti-Corruption Unit. So, I mean, those things of saying they are cutting costs, it's a lie. It's a wrong excuse. But that's the Museveni that we have known all the time. And those of you that didn't know him, now that is the Museveni for you today. Our farmers, our coffee producers, have wailed, they've said, save UCDA. It's helpful, because indeed it's helpful. Yes, our coffee is not as vibrant as it was in yesteryears, but UCDA has been very helpful. Under UCDA, you've seen that coffee farmers have been happy. They've noticed a growth in the production of coffee, in the value of coffee on the international market, etc., etc., etc. So why then stop something that's functioning well to reduce it to a system of things that have failed? You have seen the corruption in the Ministry of Lands, even before the current minister. I mean, the same Lands Ministry oversaw the selling of national ranches to individuals, companies, and groups. And now, that's the same ministry under which you want to place our coffee. In brief, Museveni wants to place our coffee in the hands of Rwamirama, in the hands of Tumesike, in the hands of, who is the permanent secretary? Major Chomuka. That's where Museveni wants to place your coffee. So this, in no uncertain terms, is an attack on the pockets of the coffee growers, and he knows who the coffee growers are. It is a plan to have a few people take your coffee and control you financially and economically. Also, the idea of putting a plant in Tungamo is not practical. Why? Because coffee growers are scattered all over the country. You want to tell me coffee from Bugisu has to first travel and go to Tungamo? And what was the logic behind that? Is Tungamo the most vibrant coffee growing district in Uganda? You know the reason why they're doing that. So, ladies and gentlemen, looking at the spirit in which this bill was brought, I can tell you it is an attack. And I mean, God is wonderful. It works in different ways. And it among, in English there's a kind of tongue slip called a Freudish slip, where you accidentally spill the beans and say out what is on your heart. In Uganda, there's a Mandwa Vajita Vatia Muruzuma. Mandwa. Yeah, in Uganda, waliwe Mandwa Jevaita Wanika. Ekutemba no vaino myogera ngatutegede. So, it's not very good to joke with this Baganda because they have that Mandwa. Now Anita Mom ended up spilling the beans. So, this bill, ladies and gentlemen, me, I will be crude. This bill is intended to punish the people of Uganda and the people of Bugisu and all those coffee growers for voting Museveni out. They are looking for all avenues where you earn a coin and they want to stick for it. What they have done to vanilla, what they are doing to the lakes and all the water bodies is what they want to do to the coffee. And if you don't fight back, they will succeed. You remember these people wanted to take your land by bringing an amendment to ensure that when the government, and you know the government is Museveni, that when the government wants your land, they first take it and then tell you how much they will pay. If you didn't fight, you would have lost the land. If you don't fight this time, you're in big trouble. So this is a way of clamping down on you. It is intended to impoverish you because poor people will always be beggars.
It's true.
That is the intention. The coffee industry, ladies and gentlemen, here in Uganda is sustaining more than 2 million families. Did you say 2.5? Yeah, in Uganda. 12 or 2 families. Wow, not 2 hours wrong. 12 million families are surviving on coffee. And now somebody wants to take them on their knees.
using this bill. And if you don't fight, my friends, that's exactly what you are facing. I request you to reject it firmly. But most importantly, and this is very important, please note it, that those that are presenting that bill and those that are speaking for that bill are not innocent. They are not only expressing an opinion, you know. This attack is a crime. It's a crime when you're impoverishing people deliberately. It's a crime, it's supposed to be a crime. And these people speaking for that bill, for that deliberate effort to impoverish our people, they are not innocent. They are not only expressing an opinion. They are part of that project. They are part of that plan. They have a duty. Their role is just to speak. Their role is a propaganda role. You need to understand this. In every attack on a people, everyone has a role. The military has a role to brutalize you. The so-called intellectuals have a role to go on TV, put on ties, and speak a lot of intellectual dishonesty to sanitize it. So this is an attack on people which will have dire consequences if you don't fight back. And those people speaking for it should be equally culpable. They are not innocent. So treat them just like their masters, because they are serving a role. Their role is a propaganda role, and that propaganda role is very, very effective in breaking a people. Very, very sadly, some of them are paid. Not just paid, but they are paid members of that affected group of people. I'll say that again. Some of those are paid members of that affected group of people, because they know that the affected group of people will trust them and believe them easily. They're criminals too. Amongst words, ladies and gentlemen, were not a mistake. Those are words of Museveni. Those are words of amongst friends. Those are words of amongst friends. Many of them are from here in Uganda. Have you seen them? Have you heard from them? Did you see them in Parliament on that day? I'm asking, did you see them on Parliament that day? Have you heard anything from them? Hopefully the first word they speak when they show up will not be Kyagulanyi tayagala Buganda yasindikiriza naneta Mungu kwogera ebigambo. I hope this opens your mind. I hope this shows you that this regime attacks different groups differently. Nobody is safe. What happened in Karamoja when they took their minerals that would have transformed their lives is exactly what happened in Busoga when they crushed the sugar cane. That is what is going to happen to Bugisu, to Buganda, and many other regions in Uganda that benefit from coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to also talk about our political prisoners who are forced to take a guilty plea. These are innocent people. When I was speaking last time, I encouraged all of you to stand with them, to be kind to them, to understand them. I also want to inform you that the regime has no limits on how far it can go with this shamelessness. Now, apparently, they want to take those people to Changwanzi as soon as they come out of prison. I spoke to one of them, our sister Olivia Odaya. She knows I understand, and she knows many of you understand. She expressed her fears and told us that whatever we can do, we should help her and other friends that have not weakened yet to defend them, because once they are convicted, all they have to do is serve their sentence and get the hell out of prison. Museveni and his regime have no power or responsibility over Olivia Lutaya and those prisoners. So after their sentence, they should be freed. But that will not happen unless if you raise your voices. Please don't forget them. Continue raising your voices for them. I also want to remind us, all of us, about our missing brothers. Up to now, several years later, our brother John Bosco Chibalama is still missing. On Saturday, his twins, who are now 8 years, they were 2.5 years when he was taken away. Now, his twins, Noreen Chibalama and Samuel Chibalama, were having their confirmation in the Catholic Church, and I had to go and stand in as their father. But it's not only Chibalama John Bosco, we have Damulila John, we have Wangolo Shafik, we have Rukwago Martin, we have Semodo Michael, Musisi Mbowa, we have Nalumoso Vincent, Zemola Dennis, Kanata Muhammad, Katumba George, Mbabazi John, Moses, Sempija Yuda, Mugumya Arafat, Chikio Peter, Mwemba Mustafa, Mobiru Hassan, Sesazi Isma, Chisembo Godfrey, and those are the few that we were able to know. They are still missing. We still want them back, dead or alive. So Museveni and your people, please bring back our people. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Muzikirize mbizene mu Luganda mpola mpola. Baseboni banyabo, already namazeta okuyozayoza candidate waffe Comrade Tana, Honorable Tana, candidate waffe wa Kisoro district. Already maze okukulisayo muganda waffe Akireewo mu Batuju, ate nga bo bayita bannaabwe Abatuju. Maze okuyozayoza mwannyinaffe Swabula Omukisa Nichaliwe Bobiwine batuweseze ekitiibwa over the weekend. Honorable Mwanga Kibumbi atukoze bulungi nnyo kuba ensonga z'emwanyi azinnyonnyodde bulungi, naye nga bwe ngambye nti yabadde decent nnyo, abadde mukkakkamu nnyo ng'ayogera ku nsonga zino n'olulimi akozeseza olulimi olw'ekigunjufu kuba bwe kirina okubeera. Ekyennaku nti ebiseera ebimu bw'oba oyogera ku nsonga ez'abantu abataliimu bugunjufu n'akamu, abataliimu kuswala n'akamu, ze ndowooza nti wabawo ekiseera ebigambo otolina bibikirira n'obyogera nga bwe biri. So munzikirize yes okutanya ensonga za Honorable Mwanga Kibumbi ze byogere bwogezi nga bwe biri. Nti lino etteeka ly'emmwanyi okugyawo Uganda Coffee Development Authority okuginyiga mu ministry y'ebyobulimi. First of all, kyabulimba balimba nti baagala bigatabogasi, baagala kugyawo kitongole kya UCDA bakiteeke mu ministry y'ebyobulimi. Ministry eyo ekulirwa Frank Tumwebaze, na Minister of State ye Pride wa Mirama, ate nga permanent secretary yani Ikamuka. Abantu bennyini betulabye ebuvuddeko nga buli ministry gye bakoleddemu babadde bunyaguluzi. Ministry yennyini eyo ebyobulimi mumanyi party yazanya mu kutunda n'okugabangula branches oba amalundiro agali agavumenti agali mu mayiro ne mayiro ez'ettaka. Naye ng'ekyo kivuddeko njagala ensi yonna ekimanye nti obwo bulumbaganyi obwakoleddwa ku balimi b'emmwanyi nga baagala okubaavuwaza, nga baagala okubafukamiza kubanga abaavu bafugika. Eryo etteeka si lya Anita Mongo, eryo etteeka lyabagiddwa Museveni. Anita Mongo ne banne just bakozi, naye eryo etteeka lyabagiddwa Museveni. Abazze batunuulira ensonga munajjukira nti tekitandise kati, ate mwanyi tebazitandise kati, baagala odozitwala. Naye ekyo ekintu kimu kye bakola ku Vanilla. Mikwano gyaffe bangi nnyo Vanilla yali atuusiza obulamu bwabwe. Mujjukira ku ntiiko ya Vanilla kiro yali egula $3,000. Naye kakati nze mbagamba kiro egula $1,000, Honorable Katabaazi n'aŋŋamba nedda oli ku bikadde kati egula $3,000. Ekiboga bwe bagitunda ebbeeyi bagitunda $5,000, yali ku $3,300. Njagala obajjukiza akatale ka Vanilla tekasalanga tekakenderanga mu nsi yonna. Ku katale k'ensi yonna Vanilla kyagula kyekimu. Nemo abalimi baagala babafootolere wano kubanga bataddewo etteeka toyina woyinza mu kutunda oyina mugo zaffe. Kakati abantu abagula vanira bali basatu ku bana nga mwabo mwe muli mutabani wa Sudiiri. Kwe kamba makinga sure obugagga bw'ensi yonna babukwata ne babusa mu bantu basatu oba bana, either abaabo ab'omunju oba abagwira be basobola okukontrolinga. Ekyo tebakikomya ku vanira, ekyo bakikola ku bikajjo era abaana b'e Busoga mumanyi bulungi twakula tumanyi cash crop eve Busoga bikajjo nga Basoga beewaana n'ebikaado kati waiswa era ddamu weewaana n'ebikajjo se. Bwe batyo bwe baakola Museveni bwe yasobola okunafuya ebyennyingiza ebyenfuna by'Abaganda baffe ab'e Busoga n'abalala abatali Busoga naye abaalimanga ebikajjo tebyalimwanga Busoga naye kubanga bisinga kulimwa Busoga be baali target people era nasobola ekibatuusaako. Mu ngeri emu Baganda bange njagala mujjukire gye buvuddeko myezi mitono basalako amayirungi era abalimi b'amayirungi bali mu kweyaguza bujjo. Nova ku ekyo tebakomawo bagenda ku buli sekita na buli bantu balima kintu. Ab'omu West Nile be baali basinga okulima wano taba, ekyo nakyo ekikuba bwe kityo. Abaana b'Omwankole abaali bafulumya amata bamekinga sure nti amata ago gakontrolingibwa mukoddomi wa Museveni yawasa muwala we. Tekyakomaawo buli kyabugagga kya ggwanga si bya bulimi byokka byokka. Tunulira gold kati gold wa family ya Museveni yekkirizibwa yokka okusuubula gold okumufulumya eggwanga ate nga tesasula na musolo. Ebirombe bya gold mu Uganda byonna kati bya family ya Museveni, kiba si kya Janet, kiba kya Sale, kiba kya Sita Sale kya Muhoozi, kiba si kya Muhoozi kya Sodo. Muze mu birabo byonna yonna Mubende Erubaali ne walala yenkola gye baze bakola. Ebyennyanja kati ennyanja zonna basalako okuvubirako olina kubeera waabwe. Bwe batyo bagenze banyigiriza ebyenfuna by'abannansi kakati saawa zino bali ku mwanyi. So njagala mukimanye nti eno evo tobono kaweefube ng'okufaanana ku kaweefube omulala abaddewo wakubavuwaza kubakakanya kubafukamiza mubere nga temuyina kye mugamba okujjako nga mufukamiridde Museveni oba abafamire ye. Of course aboogezi be bavuddeyo nga bagamba nedda twagala kukendeeza ku nfulumya, tetusobola kubeera ne ministry ebyobulimi ate nga tulina n'ekitongole ekikulakulanya emmwanyi ekya coffee ekya Uganda Coffee Development Authority. Naye kambabuuze, omuntu agamba nti ayagala kugatta bitongole bino okufulumya ssente kukendeere ye muntu y'omu ayina baminisita 82 abamu tabamanyi na mannya. Mujjukira Amini ayina baminisita bameka? 18. Museveni ayina baminisita 82. Oyinza n'okkeera ku makya ng'ayongeddeko omulala. Ayina ba RDC n'ateekako ne ba deputy RDC kati ataddeko ne ba assistant deputy RDC. Abo bonna basasulwa ku ssente ya muwa musolo owa Uganda naye agamba teyagala kola ki kukendeeza kwejajamya na nsaasaanya. Ye muntu y'omu akozesa biliyoni 2 buli lunaku. Biliyoni 2 oyinza okugamba ze bafumbisa baziteeka mu kyoto. Ye muntu y'omu abantu be babba triliyoni 10 buli mwaka zimaze okusolozebwa mu musolo zo balinda nga zimaze okusolozebwa ne basooka ne batemako ezaabwe. Ye muntu y'omu agamba nti kati emmwanyi ayagala ginyiga mu ministry ey'ebyobulimi naye nga ministry nyingi bwe ziri. Waliwo ministry y'ebyobulamu, Ministry of Health, naye under State House yateekawo Health Monitoring Unit naye nagiwa budget number eringa ministry. Tulina Uganda Revenue Authority naye yataddewo Revenue Intelligence Unit mu State House nagiwa budget naye eringa ya ministry. Tulina ekitongole kya IGG Inspector General of Government naye yateekawo State House Anti-Corruption Unit naye nagiwa budget eringa ya ministry. yagamba nti ayagala kugatta ze ministries. Tulina Ministry of Land naye yateekawo State House Land Protection Unit n'agiwa budget naye eringa ya ministry. Naye agamba nti ku kyemmwanyi tusaasanya ssente nnyingi nnyo. So njagala mumanye nti bino byakuba si buwaza naye ng'ekigendererwa kuba buwaza agenza okulaba mu mwanyi mugaggawala nnyo. N'agamba nazo kanzikwateko ate nga bwemunakkiriza nazajja zitwala Museveni tagenda kyalina kyagenda balekera mujjukira banga toneriise era yagala kutwala ttaka lyammwe lyonna ng'ayagala kuyisa tteeka nti gavumenti ate nga mumanyi Museveni ye gavumenti wano bw'aba yeegombye ettaka ajja buzinanga nti ettaka gavumenti eryagadde yagala litwala tujja kubulira sente meka gavumenti erejjokkuuza ejjokkuwa abantu bamala kulemerako ekyo tekifa. So musaba muleme kusuula step mulemereko nnyo ku mulundi guno kubanga singa temulemerako baganda bange mujja kuba muwe. Onego Mwanga Kivumbi tukoze bulungi nnyo n'obitunnyonnyola mu detail yabyo. Tewali mugaso gwonna gwa kugatta bitongole kuba kibagezaako okukola Kenya yakikolako enyingiza mu sekta y'emmwanyi neyeesala ebitundu 5 ku 10 balina okuddayo emabega. Kakati ffe yes emmwanyi yaffe si ya tefuna nnyo nga bwe tulowooza bweyina okufuna nga bwe yali efunyeko gye bwabo. Naye at least Uganda Coffee Development Authority ebadde eyambyeko abalimi era bino bigambo biva mu balimi abalimi b'emmwanyi nga bo bagamba ebayambyeko nti buli mwaka wabaddewo enkulaakulana wabaddewo growth mu bulimi bw'emmwanyi mu bungi bwe tufulumya n'omutindo bwe tufulumya. Obungi bwayo bweyongera ebitundu 3 ku buli 100 mu kufulumya emmwanyi wano. Jukira UCDA ebadde ekola okumala emyaka kati 33 nga tewali complaint balimi gye balinako naye kakati bagala scrappingawo nga already statistics zikulaga nti ebadde growinga. Growth ebadde 6.33 ebadde okula okutumbuka mu kufulumya emmwanyi obungi bwazo zeeyongedde omwaka oguwedde 2023-2024 financial year gweyongedde by 6.33 ku buli 10 obutundu 6 n'obutundu 3.3 ku buli 10 yenkulaakulana y'emmwanyi. Tweyongedde okufulumya okusinziira ku mwaka buli omwaka twafulumya ensawo z'emmwanyi milioni 5.8 2022-2023. Ne kakati statistics zikulaga nti omwaka guno 2023-2024 okufulumya emmwanyi kubadde kwongedde okutumbuka. Twebaza bonna abapromotings emmwanyi okuzirima n'ozifulumya nti kati omwaka guno guno gwe tulimu gwennyini financial year yennyini tufulumiza obusawo bw'emmwanyi bubaaga milioni 6 n'obutundutundu 13. So okuwawedde okutumbuka mu kufulumya emmwanyi ne mu quality ne mu kuyingiza. Oba osindise ku biwandiiko ebya Uganda Coffee Development Authority ojja kulaba nti omwaka guli twatunda emmwanyi za $8 million 8 Nate financial year eno tutunze emmwanyi za $1 billion namba no milioni 14 mu milioni 14. So olabawo enkulaakulana. Kati enkulaakulana eyo mu kutunda emmwanyi n'omutitimbe gwa ssente guno gwe twogerako Museveni agwagala nga tekugenda mmwe bannayuganda nga guli mu bantu be. Ekyo kyayagala era bwe munakkiriza bwe kigenda okubeera. Eyo engeri yokka gy'osobola okufugamu abantu ng'awaba ssente nnyingi naga ono wabaawo $1 billion namba n'omusomi. Kakati esekita mugimbe ndikwasa abantu bange tebabalimba n'omulundi n'ogumu. Emmwanyi kibadde kyabugaga eri bannayuganda historically wadde twasebengerera naye essaawa zino tuli ba 7 mu nsi yonna mu kulima emmwanyi. Naye yetayagala kibeere nti ffe bannayuganda ffenaffe b'omusanvu ayagala kubeera nti ye abantu be ab'omunju bakwasizza emmwanyi zaffe be bannamba 7 n'obugagga obwo bugenda eri bo. So kino kigenderere okukwata sekita y'abantu abangi miliyoni ne miliyoni. Remember, Pagode one, million, Kuminameka, how many families? Families, and you million, Kuminaki, Romanyamaka, Obukade, Kuminabi, Nechun, Gabeva Funamumani, Eva Emilio Kumani, Eva Sabaidi Kumani, Eva Somes Savana Kumani, Abo no Bukagawaban, Obugagawe, you, and you, Evidama to Mamikation. Kaki. Togera kunyumba million, Kuminabi, Nechun. Obugaga bonna bagala kwefunza mu lunaku lumu bagala kukyusa ekyo obugaga obuve mu bantu abo budde mu family ya Museveni n'abo abamulya mu ngalo. So that is the reality. Era njagala obasaba namwe mukinyonyola abantu abalala baki understanding bajja kuleeta obubadi bungi kati bagambye twataddewo coffee plant eri ntungamu. Yes, kirungi ze ntungamu bakodomi bantu. Naye tubeere bamazima emmwanyi ziri mu Uganda yonna. Oŋŋamba otya nti emmwanyi ezivudde Mbale ezivudde wadde Buganda ezivudde Soroti ezivudde zonna zirina kola ki? Kiba kyabwenkanya abaffe Entungamo ye district esinga okulima emmwanyi mu ggwanga lino. So awo nawo wabaawo obutali bwenkanya. Nga natera okumaliriza njagala tutunulire n'omwoyo etteeka lino mwe baalireetedde. Mwoyo ki mwe baaleetedde lino etteeka? Lino etteeka mu ndaba y'omuntu yenna ne bw'aba ategeera mpola mpola alaba nti lino etteeka baalireese kubonereza Baganda. Kubanga mwe besinga okulima emmwanyi n'abeeyo e Bugisu. Ate nkyogedeko wano mu Luzungu naye mbadde serious nti wano Buganda waliwo ebintu byawo. Naye ate mu mmandwa eziri wano waliwo emmandwa gye bayitaani esobola okukola ki? Mugende muginoonyerezeeko asimiteemu. Emmandwa mwanattu esobola okutemba wonna wooli nga bakoze ekikolobero oba wabbi obaase muntu obeera awo ogenda okulaba ebigambo bikusamu otuse nga weeyanise ng'ekwanise. Mu Lungereza bakiyita Friedish slip of tongue. Niffe wano Buganda bagiyita mmandwa. Obyogera totegedde. Kati yagenze n'etemba aniita amongo. N'abyogera byonna byonna. So ekyo njagala kibalage omwoyo gwe baaleeteddemu etteeka lino babadde baagala kukkakanya. Ate Anita Amongo ebigambo byayogedde si bigambo bye, ebigambo bya Museveni naye okusingira ddala bigambo byabo bakwano ba Anita Amongo. Lwaki ngamba bigambo byabwe? Mwabalabyeko mu Parliament ng'ensonga eyo enkulu enyekwata ku bantu be bagamba nti babagala nnyo. Mwabalabyeko, mwabawulizzaako. Kibeewunyisa. So ekyo kiri kye mbadde njogerako nti basobola okukwata abantu bwe baali baagala okubba ettaka mu apa bafuna abantu mu north ne babafuna ne babaleeta bogerera ensonga eyo. Bwe baba baagala okunyigiriza abasiraamu bajja kufunayo omusiraamu yeebikkirire nnyo ajje ng'ayogera okusapootinga ekyo ekinyigiriza abasiraamu. Ne mu ngeri eno lwakuba ensonyi zikyali nnyingi naye jja balaba nga bavuddeyo n'abalala batandise dde okuvaayo okubikkirira Anita Amongo. Mujja balaba nga bavuba nnyo okubakonvinsinga mmwe okubalaga nti omuntu abanyigiriza ye mukwano gwammwe ate omuntu agezaako balwanirira ye mulabe wammwe. Mujja kubalaba nga bavuba nnyo. Tekyewunyisa yagadde bajjukiza nti abantu abafaanana bwe batyo bassebo ne bannyabo beboogera jasi biba birowoozo byabwe. Kyanze ndowooza bwenge birowoozo byange byawukana ku byo. No, teba nsobi. Eno projekiti yonna ey'okumpawarishinga ey'okunavya n'okwavugaza n'okufufugaza abantu. Era eyo projekiti ebaako abantu bangi, wabawo abagikulira, waliwo abapulayinga paati g'Anita Amongo, waliwo abapulinga paati ey'okuwamba obuwambi abantu, waliwo n'abapulinga paati ey'ogendanga ku mpewo ne boogerera ebyo ebikolobero nga babifuula ebirungi. Ate abapulinga paati nene kuba baagala okulaga nti ate omuntu omukyamu ye mutuufu, omutuufu ye mukyamu. Baagala okulaga nti mulabewo ye mukwano gwo, mukwano gwo ye mulabewo. Abantu abo mubeegendereza nga tebabeera innocent, babeera part of that plan. So mbanga mubatunulire nkaliriza kuba nabo bali equally oppressive. Vira ddala waggulu bannange nga mbajjukiza nti singa mukkiriza ne babatwalako emmwanyi zammwe munaaba musigaza ki? Mujja kuba temulina kyemusigaza. Mbeebaza okumpuliriza, njagala okubakoowola mwenna naddala bali around Western Uganda, tulumbe ekisolo tukampeiningire sister waffe Tana, tugyeyo obuwanguzi, naye si buwanguzi bwokka, tumaking sure message yaffe eya change, eya freedom n'Abannayuganda okolera wamu ebuuka bulungi. Munzikirize malize nga njogera ku bintu bibiri ebirala. Eky'Abaganda baffe abali mukomera abaasibwa nga tebalina musango, obujulizi ne bubula, ne babula omusango babasalira, naye ne basindika balamu ne banna abalala ne babagamba obuba temukkiriza musango bagenda basiba wadde temugwina. Olw'okwagala okuva mukomera bakkiriza omusango, naye nga boogera naffe nga bakimanyi naffe tukimanyi tebalina musango, nga bwe nabasaba nti tuyimirire nabo. Sawa zino toyinza banenya nnyo kubanga bali mikono gya mulabe waabwe, naye ate mu kiseera kye kimutuusamu nnyo ekitiibwa abakomrade abalemeddeko, bakomrades nga Machete, nga Kalanzi n'abalala, kubanga si kyabuzira okukkiriza omusango gw'otaziza. Nakyogerako muzikize neera mutakitemu kyogereko nti kibi nnyo kye bakola abaana b'abandi okumufuusinga okukkiriza omusango gw'obutuju, omuteekeko maaka nti ono terrorist, naye ng'omusango ogwo taguzzanga. Naye tumanyi nti nga tumaze okugoba Museveni tujja kuddayo mu kooti ebyo ebisango byonna tubisazeemu kubanga bya kisiru. Ekyennaku nti gavumenti ya Museveni terina limit mu buswavu bweyinza kutuukako. Bagenze abo abantu oluvannyuma lw'obakkiriza emisango gye batakola ne babasalira n'obasalira, ate balamu n'abagamba kati oluvaayo tubatuusiza kyankwanzi, mugende babayigiriza okuwagira Museveni. Of course, abasinga babiganye nabibeddeko ne Namirabe Olivia Olutayo n'ategeeza nti wadde bamukkiriza byatakkiriza, naye ate bamusalidde omusango. Bakusalira omusango, gavumenti bati kikulinako obuvunaanyizibwa. Kati asaabinga kibonerezo kye era bw'avaayo ayagala kudda waka kusinkana famire ye, naye ekyo kisobola okubeerawo only singa muvaayo nammwe ne muyimirira naye. Njagala okibasaba mwennayo ku social media abali mu Uganda n'abali eyo, mubayambeko bannaffe abasobola okutuukira ebitongole ebirwanizira eddembe byonna. That is extra torture. Mu bigambo bye Olivia yagambye teyeetaaga rehab, bwe ba rehab ekomera bamusibye ate nga talina musango gwe yakola. So bamuleke ekiseera kye kye bamusiba ekiragwayo bamwesonyiye, baleme mulemerako ate mutwala mbyatakkiririzaamu. Nyongera n'okubajjukiza baganda bange nti bannaffe abaawambibwa tebalabikanga. Olunaku lwajjo abalongo muganda waffe John Bosco Kibalama be yaleka nga ba myaka 2 n'ekitundu baweze emyaka 8, era mu ddiini yaffe y'Okatuliki baade bafuna konfirmansiyo n'abadde gayaza n'enyimirirawo nga kitaabwe okukiikirira taata waabwe John Bosco Kibalama. Tukyayongera okubanja abantu baffe, si John Bosco Kibalama yekka, naye mulimu Damulira John, mulimu Wangolo Shafik, mulimu Lukwago Martin, mulimu Semuddu Michael, mulimu Musimbowa, mulimu Nalumo Subise, mulimu Zimula Dennis, mulimu Kanata Muhammad, Katumba George, Mbabazi Moses, Sempija Jude, Mugumya Arafat, Kityo Peter, Muwemba Mustafa, Mubiru Hassan, Sesazi Isma, n'Ekisembo Godfrey. Abono bokka tulinako amannya naye bangi nnyo ababuzibwawo betwongera okunoonyerezaako abamu famire zaabwe zitya okuvaayo kuba bazimanyi nti batiisibwa bayinza n'okubatuusako obulabe naye tetugenda kulekeraawo okubanja baganda baffe abo paka nga tubafunye. Tusabe Katonda babeere nga bakyali balamu naye naye bwe tebakyali balamu babatuwe tubaziike mu kitiibwa tumanye twabo mbabatemola. Naye njagala okujjukiza Museveni n'abo abasajja bankozesa baddamulira n'abalala nti olunaku lumu mujja kusasulira ebikolobero by'omukozi ku bannayuganda. Mwebale nnyo mwebale.
Yes, abaluzi ababaddeko temwerabire ku subscribe nga gwena aliko subscribe. Omulungi ali ku Roger TV tawerabira ku subscribe go wenna aliko subscribe okone mukade ojja kuba otufuna buli kimu ekigenda maaso.